Hello and welcome to Ivy Moves. Today I'm going to show you my go-to hip mobility and flexibility routine that I do every time when I'm traveling, when I'm sitting for too long, or I just need a little bit of movement into the hips. We need nothing except comfortable clothes in which you can stretch and some time of your day. So when you're ready, let's get started. Okay, so first we're gonna start with just stretching this front side of the leg, coming to high lunge, go as wide and as long as it's comfortable for you, tucking the tailbone under, and from here we're gonna just start sending the hips towards the ground while kicking the back heel away to have this stretch. You can either stay static on start pulsing. Oh, this feels so good. Make sure you don't feel any discomfort in your lower back. That's why I like to have my hands here on the back for an emphasis. And now the left hand is gonna find the left front thigh. Right hand is gonna make a rainbow above us to make this really long line from the right heel towards the right fingertips. And maybe even start facing towards the sky, stretching that long line, coming back to center. Now placing the back knee onto something soft so you don't hurt it. And now we're gonna become a little bit more active. Hands can be on the front knee or towards the sky. And now we're gonna fold into that back leg, sending also the torso towards the back leg. Keep very engaged into the glutes and release. You can do that as many times as you want. We can do 10 for good measure today. This can be a bit challenging for the balance, so you can also hold yourself onto something until you start feeling more comfortable with the pose. I think I lost count, maybe 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to low lunge, and let's get into the classic half split. If getting onto the ground isn't an option for you, as we said, we don't need an equipment, we can come up to pyramid pose with the back foot either onto the toes with the heel towards the sky, or the whole foot is on the ground. In the sun it's a bit hard to see where am I, and here we're hinging forward. You can have your hand supporting on any surface around you or under you. And if you want to challenge your balance a little bit more, just count on the feet for support. Grab that right hip and pull it towards the ground, so we're not opening to the side, we're not doing triangle. Both hip points are looking towards the ground. And if you want to challenge yourself, bring that front left foot onto the heel. The idea here is not to get like super deep, because at some point you're gonna start compensating with the hip. Just staying here. And if you want an extra challenge, again, no equipment necessary, we can come into flying splits. You can support yourself on a surface around, onto the ground if your environment allows it, or just grabbing the foot, making sure that we don't touch anything, and challenging the balance. And bringing the right foot next to the left. I'm gonna equalize my standing place, and now we're going for the other side. Right foot in front, left behind, high lunge. Staying static or active by pushing a little bit down, pulsing. Maybe the hands are onto the hip, making sure that back glute is really engaged. First, because the flexion here creates extension here, and second, because it really protects the joints and the lower back. And now we're going to do that very long line, elbow to thigh, left hand makes a rainbow above us, turn a little bit towards the sky, towards the left, and start just making mini pulses to push that range of motion a bit further, so the body starts feeling comfortable where it is. Starts learning that this extension is safe. 3, 2, 1 and releasing, coming to low lunge, placing something soft under that back knee. Hands are either on the front knee, a surface around you, or towards the sky, and starting to send the heel to the head and head to the heel. Point or flex the toes. I personally find it much easier if I flex them. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Come back to low lunge. If you went for half splits onto the other side, be my guest. If not, I personally find it much more harder and challenging into the pyramid pose, especially counting on the very little points of contact for balance, pulling that left hip forward and right hip back. Like really, that's why the hands are on the hips, to really assist with that motion. It took me a really long time to get it, and my teachers would always come and correct my pyramid pose, and then I just had to start correcting it myself. And from here, maybe you stayed, or maybe you challenged yourself with the flying splits. Again, the hip does not go like that. It stays facing the ground. I know it's harder, that's the point. And left foot finds the place to the right. Getting up, and let's come into goddess pose. Now, this is always so juicy. My hips are always craving so much this opening, especially because we keep seated and the legs are looking forward, or even we cross them. So this opening is just so incredible. And maybe we can even get the hands onto the knees and start pushing the knees away from us. Twisting, sending one knee, sending one shoulder to the center, looking behind the other, and switching. Don't forget to push the knees out. If you start compensating the pose because you're too focused on the twist, forget about the twist and really push out here. Know it's burning. Squeeze the glutes. Try to imagine that you're pushing them forward. If your body is leaning back, try to leaning. If your body is leaning forward, try to lean back. And release, come up. Now we're gonna face the feet. Maybe you don't see them, now you see them. Basically, the toes are facing forward and extend in a comfortable length where you can stay upright. Maybe you support yourself on a wall or a table, squeezing the glutes as much as you can, pressing into the outer corners of your feet and just hanging out here. For the same reason we did the goddess pose, it's just so delicious to open this side of the hip. To balance your challenge, maybe close your eyes. It looks super passive, but like all these little adjustments as your body starts leaning back, front, that you're trying to keep the balance, is just where the key is. It's where the juice is. It's where really the work happens in the hips. And now we're going to start going towards Kandasana, which is challenging for a lot of people. Again, I recommend you to use surface or blocks or table, chair, anything that can help you with the balance. Or if not, I just need to bring my legs forward together a bit more. We're going to start going towards the left leg, bending into the knee. Now maybe you stop here. Today we're going to try to really work the extension here. So try to keep the left heel onto the ground and go as far forward as you can. If you're here and the right toes are pointing up, that's fine. If you can go a little bit lower, go a little bit lower. The idea is that you push the right heel away from you, coming back to center. You can support yourself or not, and going into the right leg. I make this hose into the sand here. It's a bit hard for me to go all the way down because now my feet are lower than the rest. It's even in the sky a little bit. Coming back, and we're doing 5 on each side, 10 in total. This is my pace. If you feel like you want to go for more, go for more. If you feel like 2 each side is enough today because this is a brand new movement to your routine, stick with a 2. I'm gonna move a little bit back because these holes don't help me. I think I have 2 more each side. And one last. Woo! Great. Now we're gonna start opening the outer side of the hips. If you can go for pigeon, going onto the ground completely, be my guest. But as we're doing this exercise, considering that we're doing it on the go, without equipment, we cannot lay on the ground for whatever reason, let's go into figure 4, chair pose. Right ankle comes on top of the left knee, pushing that right knee away from you, flexing the right toes, and sit as far comfortable down as you can. Maybe supporting yourself, holding yourself onto something for the balance. If you already master here, maybe you can put the hands in front of the chest and start slowly twisting towards the left. And maybe the right elbow finds the right arch of the foot. Yes, that's it. And you really feel that opening of the side hip. Slowly coming back to center, changing sides. You can really just do the same thing, hold yourself onto something and really just focus on pushing the knee away from you. And if you feel super balanced and comfortable here, start slowly rotating towards the right. All these wiggles. The other side is not the most comfortable place for a balance, but it's also an extra challenge, extra work. Maybe you're also at the beach. I hope that for you. And coming slowly back to center and release. Now we're gonna do a little bit easier opening to the side hips, just to bring a bit more juice. We're gonna forward fold. If your hands can come to the outside of, if your hands can come to the ground, that's great. If not, just bring a block or something, or hold on to something so you can support yourself with a hand, even chair here. And now this right leg is gonna go back, cross the left behind it, come onto the outside edge of the foot and start pushing the hips towards behind you, towards the right, twisting the chest towards the left and left hand goes towards the sky. This is a great twist, but it really also works on the outer hip. And release, changing sides. Left hand supports on something, right left hand supports of something, left leg crosses, extends to the right, sending the hips towards the back, towards the left, and chest towards the right. And coming back to center. Let's come into a low squat if this is available for you. If not, this is going to be much more challenging, I promise you. But if this is something comfortable for you, you can just come here and really start pushing the knees with your elbows out. You can stay here, or if you want a little bit extra challenge to close the practice, you can start opening the foot out and in with the knee. Out and in. Let's do 5 each side. 3, 4, and 5. In. And the other side. Out and in. You can support yourself anywhere. This is always an option. I'm just doing no equipment. You find what's available to you and use it. Coming back to center. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'll see you next time.